Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Rex. What do we got?
Today we've got 2 bottles from a man who just now became a patron saint of whiskey, Chris Smallwood.
Chris Smallwood.
You patron saint of whiskey. Trying to do a single foot spin in place like a ballerina. All right. So I kind of like having my own space.
Yeah.
Can we make social distancing permanent?
Can I
in the
get
vault?
I want the good light. You have like this nice, big, beautiful soft box.
I look good.
I'm wedged in the corner. It's like this little, it's the size of a lunchbox there, man.
Okay. All right, this is Bird Dog, and I'm going to pour 2 for you.
Okay.
Because one is their bourbon, and one is their small batch bourbon.
Right.
And I think the only difference is proof.
Okay.
This is a company, we've reviewed some of their stuff before and couldn't figure anything out about them.
Yes.
They're called Western Spirits.
Okay.
And they did that whiskey that was like the Lexington bourbon whiskey that had a bird dog on the front of it as well.
Bird
Or
dog.
not bird dog, but anyway, they're very much into this whole idea. Now keep track of these glasses. So don't touch them yet, so you can know what you're getting. That
wasn't
one,
6 feet.
That first one I poured you is just generic bourbon. The second one I'm going to pour you is small batch.
I hear the glug, glug, glug of deliciousness.
So as far as I can tell, the only difference between these two is, well,
All right, what are we starting with?
the only, oh God. Okay.
Wait, these are super,
Wait,
super similar, dude.
Hang on a second. Look, the normal bourbon, 40% Kentucky bourbon.
Right.
40% alcohol Kentucky bourbon, right?
Yeah.
The small batch, a whopping 43%.
Oh, is it the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's different by 3%
You
alcohol.
want to know the crazy thing?
What?
I was actually getting more flavor coming out of the nose of the 40% than the small batch.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. Okay, so
The 40% jumps out of the glass a little bit. Same flavors.
This is
same
Western
notes.
brand.
Yeah.
Western brand is like sources things and makes different things. The Bird Dog line was famous for their flavored whiskeys.
Are we starting with the 40%?
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of reason to jump
Yeah,
in.
does it matter? The Bird Dog is famous for flavored whiskeys.
Okay.
They sort of really put smaller sourced flavored whiskeys on the market. And their big thing was that they would make a flavored whiskey with real whiskey and a higher proof than most flavored whiskeys.
Oh, see, that's interesting. Because this is why I'm going to say this. Because flavored whiskeys, they are not even the redheaded stepchild. They're like the meth head
The method.
of whiskeys when it comes to whiskey.
To the
enthusiasts.
whiskey snobs?
To the whiskey
They're like, oh,
enthusiasts.
God.
To the whiskey
It's the family member that no
The-
one wants to acknowledge.
to people that are getting really into whiskey and they want to know, like, what's whiskey all about? Flavored whiskey is like, well, I mean, there's whiskey in there, but it's just flavoring, and you can't tell what's actually happening with that interchange, that exchange between grain and thyme and wood. You just dump some flavoring in there. It's like, oh, well, that's okay. I don't know what's actual evolution of flavor and what's actually just coming out of a box. But if they're leaning into this idea of, let's start with like a whiskey, and then figure out how to complement that with some third-party outside flavors to accent something. Maybe is that what they're doing?
I don't know.
Okay. Now, and I'm not saying it's in this, but you're saying their other stuff
Yeah.
was flavor. I'd be interested to try that because not just, hey, people like cinnamon, let's dump cinnamon in there and call it. Yeah. If they were saying, hey, let's make a nice whiskey and then figure out what it needs to accent or complement it. Yeah. Anyways, back to this.
I can't find anything different in the nose
Other
than volume.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do an A/B. I mean, it's yeah. If it's the same mash bill and the same everything else, because the nose is so similar.
Yeah, so all I'm getting is this sort of coconutty green tea and sweetness.
Yeah. Sweet, and you
and
got
herbal grass kind of notes.
Herbal grass, yeah. And then like a thin honey.
And the taste, it's just classic
It is.
paper thin sweet tea bourbon.
It's there's a lot of like big name bourbons, they were going for 40% drinkability. You're going to be mixing it with cocktails and whatnot. They're going to have a very similar flavor.
Dude, the small
profiles to
batch
this.
is like 15% more boring.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it has
joke.
higher proof?
Yes. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm not getting that
You
much
see
of
what
a
I mean?
difference. No, I'm
I'm
not
getting
that
a
much of difference.
flatter note out of the 43.
Huh. But anyways, we're like very much nipping at the edges of these. The body of it
I'm
is-
guessing these are in the, $30 range? Okay, so I'm just going to pour some generic black label Evan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to see at 40%, what is Evan Williams is this simple as I remember.
It's just classic bourbon flavors, man. There's some vanilla, a little bit of thinned honey.
Yeah, they're equally simple.
A light dusting of brown sugar.
But I actually like the Evan Williams a little bit more because there's these chocolate notes
Okay.
in Evan Williams that are not in this one. It's all grassy green and simple and pretty and honey.
Yeah.
But the Bird Dog whiskey is very drinkable. Like if I poured this at a party, like here, have some bourbon.
Oh yeah. It wouldn't. You don't have to do any explaining with this.
No, you'd just be like, oh, cool, this is good bourbon.
Yeah, this is.
It would be easy. It'd be a crowd pleaser.
This is if people have had bourbon before, they are in familiar territory.
Yeah.
For sure. What do we want to talk about? Because Daniel totally read all of the comments in the last episode and didn't save any for this one.
Yeah, that's a rookie maneuver. I don't know what came over me.
The worst. What do we want to talk about? Any updates with the goings on of things we can talk about?
I do have a question, whether or
Okay.
not we want to do it on camera. Do we want to just single-handedly pick the featured wall and go ahead and fill it? And then decide to replace things as we review?
Because it does look skimpy. It's like we're
Right.
waiting. We're waiting for that moment. That's an interesting thought. Because right now we're waiting for the moment for the thing to make itself present, and that's limited
Right, because
to
we got to
just
wait
whiskeys
for
we
us
haven't
to
tried
taste it.
yet.
Right.
But
Or what if we've
retroactively-
already tasted
Yeah,
the
I'm
thing?
saying.
Yeah.
Things that we have tried that we know that's pretty damn quintessential. That's the wall. To remind people, the feature wall back here, these are the representatives of a category
Right.
from the various regions of Scotch, Irish, American, rye, what have you. The quintessential example of what that category is capable of. Not necessarily our all-time favorites, but
Right.
what's kind of just the meaty center of that category that we think is a really good representation of what's going on there.
And then we just look for
I like that idea.
a replacement.
I
Now,
like
you know
that
what else I like about
idea.
it?
It's a good thought. You can do it.
For 3 years, or however long we've been doing this, people have been demanding our opinions on, like, give us our top 10, give us the things you actually like. And we keep saying, taste is subjective.
Right.
You know, we can tell you what we like to drink, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll like it. This could be one where you and I actually sit down and fill that wall with things we actually think are quintessential.
And maybe this is what we do. Maybe we come up with like 3 candidates for a placement.
For each one.
We'll say like Speyside. Speyside
Here's the
Scotch.
3.
Here's 3, and then we'll do an episode going through those 3, arguing about which is the quintessential.
The quintessential.
Yeah, and then
Speyside.
we'll put that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Look at you with the ideas.
I know, I'm full of them.
Yeah.
It's coming from panic.
It's like that has been way too empty for way too long.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, here's the Fighting Stealing Drinking.
If you fight me, fight for a friend.
Also, I'm going to step on the toast. It's happening. Quintessential whiskeys in your favorite category. Your favorite category, what do you think the 3 quintessential whiskeys in that category would be?
Yeah, that might
in
help
the
us narrow it
comments.
down.
That could spawn some thoughts and ideas.
Yeah.
If you steal me, steal a lover's heart.
Jesus. And if you drink, may you drink with us.